In a world where you only have one life, much like the... Oh, no, get that out of here. In a world where you only have one life, much like the world we live in, one lonely warlock plays a classic World of Warcraft adventure on a road to level 60 without dying on a PvE server. You're watching. You dig that? Welcome to the second season of my classic World of Warcraft adventure series. If you're new here, in this episode I am playing the hardcore World of Warcraft challenge that was popularized by Cargos. In this game mode, if I die even once, it means I have to delete my character and start all over again. There are also a couple personal rule sets I'm restricting my account from doing along my adventure. Without dying, I'm also not going to allow myself to use fire spells, and I can only ever use my imp as a pet. This will make my run significantly harder, but hopefully it'll be worth the risk. Also, I have never hit level 60 in classic World of Warcraft ever, so I'm hoping that I can hit level 60 while playing this challenge before TBC comes out. So without further ado, let's jump right into the next series. Fantastic. We're on to another hardcore adventure. Glad to be taking my very first steps into Durotar. This run started out normal, like any other run, and I was doing just fine. I made it through the starting zone with ease, and then I tried to complete Vanquish the Betrayers, and I died. I freaking died. Well, that's it. Episode's over. See ya. Nah, just kidding. I just rerolled another character. I got myself to Senjin Village after completing the starting zone, and started a Solvent Spirit early on at level 5 instead. Figured I would try and do some other quests to get a bit higher level, and attempt Vanquish the Betrayers later on. After having completed a Solvent Spirit and gotten myself to level 6, I turned in the quest, then headed to Razor Hill, picked up and accepted all the quests here, as well as trained Life Tap rank 1 and Shadowbolt rank 2. After our trip to Razor Hill, I went down to the Kolkar Crag to complete Thwarting Kolkar Aggression, as well as finish Carry Your Weight. This quest was easy and presented no problem to me, but once I had completed these quests, I'd hit level 8, so I thought it was a perfect time to try my hand once again at Vanquish the Betrayers. And luckily, with the unexpected help of a level 6 hunter, we managed to get the job done without dying this time. Then we ran back into Razor Hill and turned in Vanquish the Betrayers. Was really glad I didn't scuff this quest again. After that though, we headed down to the Echo Isles to complete the Senjin Village quests. At this point, I was rather high level for this area, so taking down Zalazane was a joke honestly. Went back to Senjin and turned in all the quests there. Then we hit level 9. I ran myself all the way back to Razor Hill, turned in a ton of quests and got a lot of XP for it. Went and completed Encroachment quickly, then turned in the quest to hit level 10. And at this point, I had no idea what talent to spec into, so I didn't do it right away. Trained Drain Soul, Great Minor Healthstone, and Demon Skin rank 2. After this, we headed to Ogremar, leveled up Alchemy, and sorted out our inventory problem. Decided to pick up our first point into Improve Corruption, and after this, we went back into the wild and smacked some Flappy Bird ladies. Picked up 5 sacks of supplies to complete Winds in the Desert, then went to Skull Rock, and with only some minor difficulty, managed to finish Hidden Enemies. After Hidden Enemies, I dropped myself down into Thunder Ridge, using the rocks and cleared out the Kodos nearby Fizzle Darkstorm. This is where I really had a bit of trouble for the first time. I tried to strategically pull the mobs individually out of aggro range of Fizzle Darkstorm. However, in one instance, I pulled 3 mobs and was forced to run away. After having survived, I came back to find that Fizzle Darkstorm pats back and forth, so I had to find a way to pull the mobs in order that I wouldn't pull multiple ones. I decided to pull the lock on the right by standing closer behind him, and managed to take him out. Then I found an opportunity to pull the Burning Blade Fanatic in the middle and took him out as well. Then finally we had a clear shot at Fizzle Darkstorm, and we finished him off to complete Dark Storms. Hit level 11 on our way out after killing this Kodo, and put our second talent point into Improved Corruption. Turned in all the quests at Razor Hill once again. After all that had been completed, I thought it was time to go to the Barrens now. Ran into the Crossroads and turned in Crossroads Conscription and accepted all the quests here. It took me a surprisingly long time, but we got Planestarter Menace finished. Next up was Disrupt the Attacks, and while I was here I pulled a Razormane after having quickly downed another mob previously, but I was somewhat low on HP from the start. I got my dots up and my imp was bursting him down. However, halfway through the fight another Razormane spawned on top of me, so I popped a health potion in the middle of the fight. I got one last Shadow Bolt off to take out the Thornweaver, and immediately feared the Water Seeker. I start to life tap as I'm completely out of mana with no options to take out the Water Seeker. As the Water Seeker pats back to me, I try to cast another Fear onto the Seeker, but another Hunter pats to me from off screen to my left, and I meet my demise. And if you thought that wasn't frustrating enough at this point, well, you'd be right. However, we did in fact decide to roll a third character yet again. On my third attempt at reaching level 60 without dying, instead of heading to the Barrens, I thought that it would be a good idea to head to Tristful Glaze to get a serious boost in XP from the lower level quests in the area. I made it into Brill, and I ran around and grabbed all the available quests there. In Tristful Glades though, I really had no problems whatsoever. I really started to steamroll through all the quests here, and knocked them out one by one. While it wasn't necessarily the most efficient way to level my character, I kind of made it a personal challenge to finish all the quests in the zone. And it was really fun, reading over the quests, making my way through the zone, and learning about the lore all along the way. Not a whole lot really happened here to me in Tristful, but there was one very notable moment in my leveling experience here. In this encounter, I was trying to do the Deaths in the Family quest, and at this point I was looking everywhere for Thurman's remains. Apparently, he hadn't spawned in an unusually long time back behind me to the south, so for whatever reason, I thought that it might be down the Agman family crypts. I ran down into the crypt willy-nilly, only to find out that when I got to the end of the staircase, the mobs immediately respawned on top of me. I managed to take out the 2 mobs that had spawned on me, but right as I was looting the corpse, another mob spawned behind me. I immediately started to run up the stairs and try to get my way to safety, but as I did, even more mobs spawned on top of me, and now I've got 3 mobs chasing me. It was a bit heart-pumping. Wasn't crazy close either, but come to find out, another level 15 hardcore had actually gone into the crypt before me and cleared it out. Just glad we made it out alive here. Without any more problems though, we finished the Tristful Glades, and now it was time to move on to the Silverpine Forest. Now that we had hit level 13, we were at an extremely safe level now to head to Silverpine. I made my way to the Sepulchre and accepted all the quests. I started Prove Your Worth and a Recipe for Death halfway through the quest to hit level 14, and you'll also notice I decided to build differently on this third tune. Going down the Demonology tree, I took 3 points into Improved Imp, as well as 2 points into Improved Healthstone. I decided to build this way for a bit more survivability, as opposed to more damage output. I grinded quite a bit as I made my way up north to turn in the Lost Deathstalkers, and accepted Wild Hearts. Finished Wild Hearts, then we picked up Escorting Erland and completed the escort quest. Turned in Escorting Erland and picked up the Deathstalker's report, killed Nightlash for the dead fields, and then headed back to the Sepulchre to turn in our quests. However, along the way back, I ran into a close call with the Son of Arugal. I saw that there was a Mage Royal herb that I wanted, but the Son of Arugal was padding on top of it. As I went to go try and grab it, he padded right back towards me. I aggro him, and as I run away, I pull another mob, and I'm forced to health pot. It wasn't super close, but now I decide to give up on the Mage Royal, and figure it's best not to mess going for it. I head into the Sepulchre and turn in all the quests I've just completed, and fly to Undercity, bank some items, drained Corruption rank 2 and Drain Life rank 1, and accepted Sample for Hellbroom. Then I head back to the Sepulchre, finish up the rest of A Recipe for Death, hit level 15 and put our next talent point into Improve Corruption, completed Arugal's Folly, then turned in Arugal's Folly and accepted the continuation, turned in the Decrepit Fairy, and picked up Rothhide Clues, turned in Return to Quinn, and completed Ivor the Foul, then finally finished Arugal's Folly, and first major big quest arc in Silverpine was done. So I made my way back to the Sepulchre again. I turned in and accepted all the new available quests. However, what I didn't realize is that I had finally caught the quest step to around my level equivalent at this point. So I decided to run down south to try to complete Border Crossing, as I had already finished everything else there was to do here. When I get to Ambermill, I can really tell that this area would be really tough to navigate through, and then I'm facing casters, so I really need to be cautious. I start to fight one mage, and as I do, he focuses my imp at one point and basically one-shots him. I try to resummon my imp, but 2 Dalaran protectors pat onto me from off screen. I start to run away, but there's just no chance. I'm bursted down, and for the 3rd time, I am 100% donezo. So we didn't hit level 60 before TBC came out, but hey, that's alright. I still wanted to cover my Warlock's hardcore adventure, and I'm very surprised that we were able to suffer through 3 lives on this tune. However, I actually played this challenge one last time on a Warlock for a 4th time, but now with TBC just around the corner, I was debating whether or not to play hardcore over there as well. Though, I have a question for you guys. Should I play a hardcore Draenei Shaman or a hardcore Blood Elf? Should I cover and make another video on the Warlock's 4th adventure? Or should I play hardcore specifically on Classic Vanilla servers? I've been kind of thinking that maybe hardcore is really only meant to be played on Classic, since TBC is a little bit easier to level in. But TBC is what people really want right now. Not sure. Leave me a comment down below of what I should do next. If you guys want to catch me play hardcore, go give me a follow at twitch.tv/digthat. I'd really appreciate that. These videos take a lot of effort to produce, so if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to see more just like it, and I'll see you in the next hardcore adventure. Peace.